Ready for another lesson? No Country for No Man. I just come from watching No Country for Old Men, and I had to rewatch it because it's a good one. For those of you that watch it and there was some puzzling parts, I would advise you to rewatch it again and watch it if you haven't. In the movie, the sheriff was a man, of course. And he was an older man. And I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but the movie applies to real life. America is no country for man because men are always tear down in this country. You're feminized, you're ostracized, and castrated. And a lot of women fail to understand that this feminism bullshit is a scam. But they realize it's far too late. You have the machine, the guy that was the killer in that movie, and you have the guy that stumbled upon what transcended, and then you had the corporation that was behind it, and it was a good one. It was well put together. The pacing was good as well. You see, as a man, as you get older, you start to come into your wisdom and you start to realize and be able to see through the matrix, and that's fine. But the thing is that when you're able to see through the matrix and you try and tell other younger men, the younger men believe that just because you old, you don't know shit. They believe that you only know knowledge from back in your day and you're dry as fuck. And then you could see as an older man the potholes that these younger boys about to fall into. Within our society, we don't have a rite of passage as most cultures do. Boys go from boys to men with a ceremony or a ritual. We don't have that here. And that's why a lot of these boys growing up hyper emotional, and a lot of these boys being raised by single mothers and the like. The point of the matter is that here in America, it's bad to be a man. You go to other countries and you see how they treat their men and how their men are respected and revered, but not in America, because America give the power to women. In other countries, women really don't have a say-so. They're quote-unquote oppressed, how it's supposed to be. The fall of manhood and masculinity in this country has been happening for hundreds of years, and it will continue to happen. When you have entertainers copying styles of other men and dressing like other men because they themselves don't have an identity, you in for a wall of hurt. When one man talking about A.S.W.A.M and an entertainer dress just like him to look just like him, but fail to understand that don't mean anything. Look at the Chinese. They're known for copying and quote-unquote doing rip-offs of other popular products. But just because they look like it and copy to it in minute detail doesn't mean that the quality is going to be up to par with the original. You're seeing carbon copies everywhere in society, and the carbon copies are just shells. The quality of the product isn't where it needs to be. As a man, keep pushing and keep grinding and doing what you need to do. And don't let people define your masculinity, and don't let women define your masculinity. It's a game out here. Well, let me rephrase that. People would think it's a game when they're dealing with you, but you have to understand that it ain't a game. You have to realize that you have to be able to differentiate when to play and when to stay and sit still. Keep pushing and growing. And remember that this country is for no man. And it's like the wild, wild west. You need to stay strapped. Not literally, but you need to prepare and always be ready for a shootout. Because not only are you fighting against other men, you're fighting against the world, you're fighting against society, you're fighting against women, you're fighting against all the other aspects that are there to make sure you don't get to where you need to go. You're fighting against Mother Nature as well. But trust me, Mother Nature always wins. But with every other opposing factor, you have a chance. You just have to make sure that you put the odds in your favor. You've been taught.